So, you want to finally start the dream business in 2025? I got you. Here's a no BS advice from someone who has now earned millions from starting her business. Let's get into it. For quick context, I started my own business back in 2021. Yes, in the middle of the pandemic. So if you can do it without having a pandemic in the picture, you can do it. So I started back in 2021 through my coaching business as a money mindset and life coach. So I earn from my coaching program. So ever since then, that's the main thing, that's my bread and butter that I focus on for almost 4 years now, that allowed me to make this my full-time job and not go back to my corporate stint anymore, because this is ultimately what gives me freedom, meaning in my day-to-day life, because I see that what I do creates true impact on people's lives. And so I also want to pay it forward and share with you my tips that allowed me to build a sustainable business that earns me millions every year from doing what I love and from creating impact, because I want you to feel the same. First, let's talk about the two types of business that I've seen, because now that I've started my own and now I help Filipino professionals to also start their own businesses, being financially prepared for it, I noticed that there are usually two types. So one is a service-based business, and second is a product-based business. So a service-based business is basically you offer your skills through services that you get paid for, while a product-based business is very straightforward. You produce a product and people buy that product from you. So for example, me as a coach, I offer coaching services where I help my clients through a screen to solve their unhealthy spending habits so that they could build a clear roadmap and system for funding their life milestones. So that's what I've been doing for almost 4 years now. I've enrolled over 100 clients into the same program. I've just improved it year on year and also upskilled my skills as a coach. And that's my main thing that allowed me to create a sustainable business out of. Another example is like freelancing. So let's say you use your skills in writing to do copywriting for a client's social media pages, for their emails, or I have clients who are DM specialists. So they sell to clients through the DMs on Instagram. So they nurture the right clients through the DMs on Instagram that allows them to convert to their programs. So there's so many services that you can upskill and you can use that you are passionate about, that you know you are good at, and people will pay you for that skill. Next is a product-based business. So for example, I have a client who bakes cookies and now is able to sell those cookies, and she was able to now expand to a physical store. So that's an example of a physical product. So ultimately, you have a tangible product that you produce and that you create inventory out of and that you sell to the right people who would love to buy your product. So I have seen both spectrums when I coach my clients, that they want to either be financially prepared for having that capital for their business or having the right mindset around money to be able to start that business and be financially prepared to quit their job, go full-time in their business, or to be able to expand their business so that they could increase their income while working less hours. So these are types of business that I've seen. So something for you to consider on what would resonate with you the most. Because oftentimes the misconception is like they think that I need to only produce a product in order to start a business, but there's so many other skills that you can use, that you can leverage on. That's how it was for me. Like I thought that I needed to start an app or I needed to like produce a certain product before I start a business, but then I forgot like what if there are skills and experiences that I can leverage on, that I can use so that I can create a business out of that. And that's how I started my coaching with money mindset. And that's something that I started from what I've seen, I've learned from my experience on how the mindset really mirrors our spending decisions. And that's what allowed me to do business full-time as an entrepreneur for almost 4 years now. Now let's get into the 5 steps for you to start your own business. First is start with a passion or skill that sparks joy for you. You may have heard before that you can turn your passion into profit, and that's exactly what this is about. Because the mistake people think about is like, I'm just going to do the business that everyone already makes money out of, that they're already doing that, so I can replicate it. Yes, there's some truth to that, but if it's not something you're passionate about, if it's not a skill that you are good at, then you won't be successful with it. So it's basically like what you're good at, what possibly your friends constantly ask you about that you're good at, or like what strengths and skills that you have honed over the years. So for me, example is that I noticed that colleagues or like friends constantly ask me about how I manage my money or like how I handle money, and it's something that I can't stop talking about. Like it's something that I naturally became passionate about. And in my experience also being a former shopaholic, then achieving my first six-figure savings and achieving my first million, it's something that I naturally gravitate talking about, and it's something that I feel like needs to be talked about because you don't become good at money like right away. You have to learn from people's experiences. That's how it was for me, is that I leveraged my experiences and my skills to start this business. And one of those skills also, besides being able to share my experiences and guiding someone through that process, is also my skills in communicating and also simplifying processes into something that people can easily understand. That's how it really started with me brainstorming, doing my coaching program as a money mindset and life coach. Like all of these things that makes my program special is rooted in my own lived experiences, my personal experiences, and also the skills that I have honed over the years to market my business, to talk about my experiences on social media, to, like, for example, being comfortable speaking to a camera is not something that I suddenly became like naturally good at. It was something that I've honed over the years because in my past jobs, it was something that I constantly had to communicate, to present, things like that. Back in like high school, I was so scared to recite. I was so scared of public speaking, but now it's basically what I do day in, day out. And so I want you to start with that. Like, what is something that you're so good at, your friends ask you about, strengths that you have, and just list it out. Second step is now choose one business idea from that passion or skill. So the mistake that I see people make is that, oh, I have so many business ideas and then I want to try them all. And what happens is that they try them all, they spread themselves too thin, and they don't give each idea the proper time to be tested. And so like for me, I also had a lot of ideas. I did like a lot of business brain dump of like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I thought I wanted to do a physical product. So that's a different story. That's another story for another day. But I thought I wanted that. Like I actually started creating that. Like I started working on like some ideas for that physical product. And then while I was doing it, I noticed like the passion and excitement weren't sustained. Versus when I started thinking about I could coach someone and actually empower them to take action and actually solve their problems with their money and their habits and actually fund their dreams just like I have. Like I suddenly had that so much spark in wanting to do that, and so I followed that idea. So, yes, I started with an idea na parang, okay, like, after giving it so much effort and time, and parang hindi pala. Parang I wanted to change my mind. And so, I pivoted into doing my coaching business. And through that, starting my coaching business, I had a lot of trial and error also. But then, that's the thing, is that when you're so focused on, like, one business idea, you give it time to flourish, to test, and then see for yourself, like, do I really see myself going this way? Do I really see myself doing this for a long time? Because that's what people don't realize, is that it's not like you sell something through a business and then okay na. Like you have to also think about, like, is this something that I see myself doing day in, day out? I wake up every day. Basically, you live and breathe this business. That's why I believe that it has to be rooted in passion and skill that you really love doing, or else you're eventually going to get burnt out or like bored or like you just give up on that business. Third step is test the market for free. You need to check, okay, is my product or service really in demand? Is it really something that people look for? Is it really going to solve someone's problem? Because basically, in this testing phase, you want to assess, is this solving a specific problem for a specific ideal client? And this testing part is people skip out on. They're like, how do I make sure it sells? Ganyan, ganyan. This solves it. Like, this is also the biggest roadblock I had before. Na parang, how do I know if I'm a good coach? How do I know if I'm gonna be able to help someone? You do it for free. So like for me, I coached people for free for a while. And eventually, like when they wanted to have more accountability, long-term growth, that's when I started to charge for more of my time for coaching. That also gives you peace of mind na I'm validating my process. So I remember when I started doing coaching, it was like I told people like who wants to join my beta program so that I can validate my process. So that's why I became so confident when I launched my coaching program that it's been validated, it's been proven and tested because I went through like a beta testing program for me to check, is this program really going to help someone? Is this really going to solve a specific problem for my ideal people? That could apply for any service. Like how could you offer it for free muna? Collect testimonials, collect positive feedback, collect what needs to be improved so that you can make those improvements. You can put those feedback when you launch the product officially. So that could apply to any service. That could also apply to any product. Like I remember my client who started her cookie business, like she basically just sent those cookies at the start because she first had fun baking those cookies, and then she just sent those cookies to like her family, her friends to test it out, to gauge their feedback, to see what needs to improve, if it was really worth putting out in the market and making it into a business. And that's when it started. And now she has her own physical store. Now she's able to expand her business into a commissary. And so it all started with beta testing the market for free. If you have family, if you have friends, if you have people whom you know will benefit from your service or product, offer it for free. And the goal from that is that you get a lot of feedback or testimonials so that would increase your confidence that, hey, this could really turn my passion into profit. And if you want more inspiration on how you can maximize that one business idea into a thriving income stream that would allow you to fund your life milestones and be financially free, you can join my email list, Financially Free Fridays, where you will receive truth bombs about how you can build the right money habits, sustainable money habits to fund your life milestones with one income stream at a time. Like literally, when I quit my job to start my coaching business, it was the main income stream I've had for years that allowed me to sustain my lifestyle, to fund my life milestones, my travel bucket list, my dream wedding, moving in with my partner, and all of those things. And it all started with knowing the foundational skills in maximizing your one income stream. And that's also like why I want to talk about it in this video, that you want to focus on one business idea at a time so that you actually follow through and do the proper testing for each business idea, because that's what allowed me to also be so good at what I do that allows me to build a 7-figure business. So if you want to be inspired on how you can build a sustainable business with the right habits and mindset around money, make sure you join my weekly email list where I will send you those truth bombs in your inbox so that you can really see how possible it is for you as well. Moving on to the fourth step for you to start your business and make it profitable is increase your self-belief. This is the biggest thing that Filipinos miss out on, I swear. They think like, oh, I just need to have the best business idea. I just need to have like the step-by-step launch process and it's going to work. But this is the biggest missing puzzle piece that could make or break starting a business. If you don't believe it's actually possible, if you don't believe you're good enough for it, if you don't believe people will actually buy it, that will show. So you have to check what are those limiting thoughts, beliefs you have around money that prevent you from putting this business out there. So let me give an example. Like one of my clients who also wanted to do coaching, mentoring, one of the biggest blockers that he had was that wouldn't it be unethical to charge someone when I help them? Wouldn't it be unethical to charge this much? And that's something he only realized when he had the safe space to talk about these limiting thoughts, these beliefs around money. Because all this time, the reason why he would procrastinate starting a business or calling himself a coach is because he's scared that wouldn't it be unethical, or shouldn't it just be free, or isn't it unethical to charge someone for my service? Another example is like thinking you're gonna be greedy when you charge someone, when you charge this much. Even for me, like I had a lot of limiting thoughts that made me procrastinate this business. Is like, isn't someone better than me? Who am I to talk about this? Can I really call myself a coach? Like, am I competent enough? Can I really help someone? And these are the sneaky thoughts and beliefs that you don't realize are preventing you from taking action that make you procrastinate starting a business. This is why when I coach my clients, it's so important that we dig deep into these limiting beliefs they have around money, so that not only are they financially prepared with the funds to start it, but they also are backed up with a huge self-belief to follow through with it. This is perfect timing because I just interviewed a client who just started a business because of our coaching together, wherein I helped her in really identifying those limiting beliefs and thoughts that have prevented her from showing up and starting this business, because now she became a successful TikTok affiliate, which is amazing. As in, sobrang proud ako sa kanya. Ang galing talaga. Like, she shares her journey on TikTok on what allowed her to have that courage to put herself out there, and now she's getting sales from TikTok as an affiliate. She shares her journey in this YouTube video. Check that out, like if that's something that you're also interested in getting into. But ultimately, it was so crucial for us to understand like what were those limiting beliefs that she had around money. How can we increase her confidence, her belief around starting a business, so that she actually takes action and do it. But because what we don't realize is that our thoughts create our reality. Our beliefs mirror our actions. What you do is a reflection of your belief about yourself. So if you don't have that strong belief around this business, around how capable you are, that will reflect in your lack of action. Like, tell me how I know. Because I was that person. For the longest time, I procrastinated starting a business because I didn't have belief around it. And so I'm telling you this because I wish someone told me sooner that it's not just about hustle, action, but you need to check, like, are my thoughts and beliefs aligned with the actions I want? Are my thoughts and beliefs aligned with the business that I want to have? Are my thoughts and beliefs aligned with the reality that I desire for myself? This is why I'm so passionate about understanding your mindset around money, because we don't realize that it bleeds into our decisions or lack of action. That's why it's so important that when you start a business, you look for someone who has been successful at that already, so that it can create proof in your mind that okay, ibig sabihin possible talaga for someone to make that happen. Like, I remember when I wanted to really do coaching as a business, I looked for people who are already successful with coaching. And the thing was, what made it a challenge was that it was very rare to see Filipinos being a coach or coaching someone. It's usually like countries abroad who are already doing it. So I had to look for mentors, courses who successfully have a coaching business, who teach how to launch a coaching business, and that's what I did. I enrolled in a course that would give me confidence in launching my own coaching business. Because I said, if wala pa nito sa Pilipinas, then I'll be the pioneer. I will start it. Because it's already successful in other countries, it means that there's opportunity for it here. Because all the more that Filipinos need to be guided with the right mindset in order to break the toxic mindset from past generations around earning money, handling money, and all of that. And true enough, that's exactly why clients come to me for help, because there's no one else to guide them in this process. And that's what I mean, that you need to solve a specific problem for a specific ideal client. I cannot count the times when there are clients who enroll with me and they're like, I've been looking for someone like you for the longest time, and when I saw you, I was like, finally, someone who can guide me, someone whom I know experienced what I've experienced, and I want to be guided step by step. And so it's so important that in the process of starting a business, you find a mentor, you find proof, you find community, you look for people, you look for communities, you look for mentors who are already in that journey of where you want to be. Because if you're not surrounded with the right environment, with the right people, it's easy to give up. It's easy to lose belief in this business. So if this has resonated with you and you know that you need to work on your mindset around money so that you can have the belief and courage to start your business this new year, then I invite you to join my coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. So this program is holistic and very personalized to you in such a way that we dig deep into what will allow you to have belief in starting your own business by not only having the mental readiness but also the financial readiness, because I've seen it goes hand in hand. Like, you need to not only have the funds, yes, and a logical plan to start a business, but also you need to have huge self-belief and self-trust to do it. Like, that's exactly what my client said in this interview that allowed her to start a business. And so if you also want to visualize yourself as someone who's capable of that, and you need someone to guide you through the step by step and be guided with a coach and community to do it, that's exactly what you will get inside my coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. So you can check my website, coachingwithnick.com, for all of the details on how to enroll and get inspired by several client testimonials who have done it as well, who have built the right mindset and systems around money that allowed them to fund their life milestones, like starting a business or scaling a business. For the fifth and final step to start your business, so let's say you already identified what is that business idea that you know will be profitable, that's rooted in your skills and passions, and that you have already received feedback from beta testing, from testing the market for free. You already know like what they like, what's in demand, how your process is validated, whether it's a service or a product, and you've already worked on your belief around it. You know that this is something that you're confident is really needed in the market, is really needed by your ideal client. Then the fifth and final step is launch. Launch for your first batch of customers. So the misconception is that when you launch, you have to think about all the people who will benefit from your product or service. But truly, like for me, what allowed me to be at ease when I first launched my coaching program is that I just want to focus on my first few customers. And at that time, I was thinking of like my first 10 customers. Okay, like who are my first 10 clients that I am excited to help? Because the thing is, it becomes more manageable instead of like I'm thinking about like the first 100, the first 500. And the thing is, when you're so focused on just those few people, it becomes so personalized and specific to them. And the more specific you are in marketing to a certain profile of people, the more it's gonna resonate, the more it's gonna be relevant to them. So what you're going to do is, based on the feedback, testimonials that you got from your beta testing, that's what you will use as a benchmark basis for launching your product or service. So I remember when I first launched back in 2021, everything that I talked about in my marketing, in my website, was literally based off what my beta clients told me. Because I wanted to literally use their words, to literally use their experiences and put it in my marketing, in my launch page, in my webinar, because that's exactly the types of people I worked with, and therefore I'm gonna have the confidence that I can help similar people with similar experiences and goals. When I focused on just those first 10 clients, I became so excited. Okay, that's easy. Like I can do it. Like 10 people, like that's manageable. And the thing is, the first 10 people, the first 10 clients you have, that's what will create the ripple effect for the rest of your business. Like I remember my first client, one of my first few clients, back in 2021, she still refers so many clients and friends to my program to this day. And she's like one of my first few clients in 2021, and she still refers clients to my program up until now in 2024, 2025. And that's what I realized, that when you are so passionate about helping the first 10 customers in your business, it creates that foundation and helping the rest of your 100 customers down in your journey as a business owner. Like now that I've enrolled over 100 clients into my business, I really believe that it wouldn't have been possible if I wasn't so passionate about helping the first 10 clients in my coaching program. And of course, through this launching process also, it was so crucial that I had a mentor. I joined a course. I was part of a community that allowed me to ask questions, allowed me to validate what I was doing, allowed me to feel like, okay, this is normal. It's normal to talk about this. It's normal to put myself out there. Because one of the things that also held me back in the past to start the business was that I didn't really see someone in my circle doing it, or I didn't really know someone personally who's doing it. And that's also one of the biggest blockers that I see with my clients, is that when they don't see someone in their circle, it's easy to think na, it's not possible, di ko kaya yon, or may ganun ba, posible ba yon, things like that. And so you want to be surrounded by mentors, communities, and people who are successful already at what you want to do, so that it's easy to be inspired, it's easy to be motivated, it's easy to really see it for yourself. I think what's important is being able to normalize it in your brain that this is a business that you are taking seriously. If you want to learn more business tips, I have so many videos on my channel that you can check out right here, starting with this one, for you to see like, okay, what are the foundational skills that I need to have to build a successful, thriving, profitable business. So check that out, and I will see you there.